Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with some more Hearthstone. Today we're going to be going over the most recent beta patch, some big changes to a few of the cards, going to be shifting up the metagame a little bit, and then also some general changes as well as the introduction of a ranking and matchmaking system. So we're going to go over all that here. Before we go into the card changes though, I'm going to start off with just some of the general changes. First and foremost, you are now able to abandon up to one quest per day. So if you hop in your quest log and you see a quest you don't like, I've already used this system, but if I hadn't, there'd basically be a little red X right here. And if you don't like the quest that you see, if it's a class that you don't play much of, you don't have many cards for, you can exit out of it, and that's going to randomly select a new quest to replace it. There's also a new feature in the game called playing against your recently played opponent. Going on over to your friends list, you'll see the player that you last played, and you can challenge them to another game if you had fun or whatever. There's also a new feature to play against players near me. Now what this is opening us up for is the option to much more easily facilitate LAN play. So if you're connected through a local network with other computers, you guys can set up a LAN game. I think this is going to be fantastic for people trying to set up tournaments for this game. Now we just need observer mode, Blizzard, come on. Sometime soon, that'd be fantastic. So yeah, it's going to select people who are nearby in your local network or people who are onto your friends list. Been a change to the amount of gold that can be won by winning games in play mode. So what's happening now is it's capped at 100. And typically, in the past, you could just keep playing in play mode. The more wins that you got, the more gold that you got. But the gold from winning has been capped. Now, this is not including gold that you'll be getting from quest, arena, or achievements. This is just straight from winning. So if you complete this quest, you get 40 gold, and that does not count towards your 100 gold cap for the day. The cap is just from winning games. This is specifically, what they're saying is this is specifically being put in place to try to counter scamming measures that were going on, basically. I can't imagine the average player would have to worry about this. To win enough games to get 100 gold, you'd have to. I think the only people who may be affected by this are people like Crip who play this game like 8 to 12 hours a day, and he doesn't even play mode that much. He's mostly doing arena, so. Can't imagine most normal people are going to be bothered by 100 gold cap through the wins. Again, that's not going to affect too many people. Brand new ranking system thrown into the game. Very, very exciting. First and foremost, though, there's been a visual distinction between casual and ranked mode. So it used to be like, practice against people. Now it's quite obvious, okay, I'm just playing for funsies, and now I'm playing to compete and try to go up in rank. I guess not that there was confusion, but Blizzard always likes to simplify things and make things easier to understand. And I could see with the last system how people might be confused by just like clicking on that shape to switch between the two. I don't know, they made the change, whatever, it's here. So new ranking system, there are 25 ranks, and it starts at rank 25, the very bottom, as the Angry Chicken, going all the way up to rank number 1, which is the Innkeeper. So how do you level up? Well, you level up by winning. You're gonna get 1 star for every win that you have. You also get extra stars if you go on a winning streak, giving you some bonus stars to level up faster. And losing a game will cause you to lose a star, as you would assume. Now that win streak only goes up to rank 5. Once you get from rank 5 to rank 1, you can no longer get those bonus stars from a win streak. And also, once you are rank 1 and you are 5 stars in rank 1, you will then proceed into the legend rank with a corresponding number for how you rank against other people in your region. So for example, if you are legend rank 275, that means you are the 275th best player in your region. So how are you going to be matched against people? Well, a new matchmaking rating system has been put in place, similar to that seen in Blizzard's StarCraft. It's an MMR. This is going to be a hidden number that's going to match you against people of equal skill. So MMR is gained and lost as you win and lose games, and the amount of MMR gained or lost is going to depend on the MMR of your opponent. So just to put it in basic terms, if you beat someone who has a lower matchmaking rating than you, you're not going to get as many points if you were to beat someone who has a higher matchmaking ratings. Higher matchmaking rating than you do. Now that's a hidden number, you're never going to see it. Of course you can see someone's global ranking if you're in legend rank, but that doesn't necessarily tell you what their MMR is. So MMR is a hidden number. I'm sure people will be doing calculations to figure out how that's all figured out, but again, more or less you'll be matched with people of equal skill. or who have spent equal amounts of money. Oh, snicker, snicker, snicker. All right, now with the matchmaking system and the new ranking system that they're introducing ranked play test season number 1. So there's going to be these ladders, and every month they will reset. So this is the first season, and then in the next month that will reset. Now casual play will not be reset. Your MMR will stay consistent. That might change in the future, but for now you're going to have a consistent MMR in casual play, but every month everyone goes back down to rank 25 and has to try to climb their way back up to rank 1 and then eventually into legend rank. And that's the reason this is done, is to try to allow newcomers to have a chance to compete against people who are on the top based on the skill every month, not based on who's been playing the longest, basically. Some changes to Arena. Those changes include the fact that the number of matches you can win in Arena has been increased from up to 12 from what used to be 9. And there's also new emblems with that. We've got the Frostborn, Molten, and Lightforge emblems for winning 10, 11, and 12 games. Also, Arena awards have been restructured. People are looking into exactly what that means. You know, we're looking at things like more gold and potential packs for those higher ranks. Now moving on to the really, really big stuff, and that's going to be the balance changes. Actually, one more thing before we get into balance changes. We've got new animations for golden cards. Woo! Let me see if I can find you some. I disenchant most of my golden cards, but yes, they've just animated the golden cards now so that they're always going to be shiny and showing all sorts of stuff. That's kind of cool, I guess. I don't really care. You know, honestly, I just disenchant most of these because if I need dust to fill out my collection, I don't really care about the golden cards. There's also new visual effects for some cards for when they come into play, various things that they do. Again, nothing I really care about. Let's talk about the balance changes, starting off with the Hunter here. Hunter saw a change to Unleash the Hound. So first of all, big change. At cost 4, cards completely been reworked. So used to, you know, you used to give your minions charge and an extra attack. Well, that's no longer the case. And now, for each enemy minion in play, you get to summon a 1/1 Hound with charge. Now this opens up some potentially cool opportunities, but make no mistake about it, it's a pretty big nerf to the card. It's been completely changed, and it's going to be cool for some combos. Like an example is Starving Buzzard in play, drop Unleash the Hounds, draw a card for each one of those 1/1 Hounds that come into play. That's cool. So you can draw a bunch of cards depending on how many minions your opponent has in play, but then at the same time, if you're drawing a lot of cards, that means your opponent has a lot of minions in play, so I hope you have something to deal with it. But it's not bad. It opens up some new combos, but it completely shuts down the one-turn Kill Hunter deck, which was honestly, as far as I saw in the ladder, one of the few Hunter decks that actually stood a chance. So I don't know. I think Hunter's, we're going to have to see how the metagame shifts, but big change to that. Speaking of Starving Buzzard, that card also got a change. Used to be a 2/2, it is now a 2/1. In being a 2/1, it's very easy if you're playing this early game against a rogue, against a rogue, against a druid, against a mage. They just kill it right away. So it's going to be one of those situations. It was so in the past, but now even more so, you're going to want to hold on to this card and not play it until you have something to follow it up with to make sure that you're drawing a card. Because playing this on turn 2 against those 3 classes, it's dead. It's dead. Like, there's no way it lives past a turn, and at most you'll get 2 damage to the face off of it. But against a mage even, which is a particularly strong class right now, against a mage it's even more worthless. That's too bad. Moving on to Priest changes. Priest obviously got the big change that everyone knew was coming. That is a change to Mind Control. Mind Control now, instead of costing 8, costs 10. So that's going to give you 2 extra turns with Ragnaros. Oh boy, I don't know. You know, priests weren't necessarily that strong. There was a time where priests were everywhere, and then we saw the metagame shift to all these super crazy aggressive aggro decks. Priests went out of vogue, and now Mind Control gets nerfed. Now, we might see some changes because mages are so popular right now. We could see the priest come back if we go for sort of a sustain, lots of life gain priest. That could actually do pretty well, especially since priests do so good against, for example, the Frost Giant mage deck. Priests have so many great ways beyond the 2 mind controls, also with the Shadow Word Deaths of dealing with those. Who knows, maybe Priests will make a resurgence, but this doesn't help their cause, and I don't know, we'll have to see. The metagame will definitely shift, but this is obviously a nerf to the individual card itself. Warlocks saw a small change here. Flame Imp's battle cry now deals 3 damage up from 2. So here we go. Used to deal 2 damage, now does 3 to the player. So the idea here is they're trying to sort of curb back on the effectiveness of those super aggressive. Beyond the mage deck that's been really popular, the other really popular deck recently has been these super aggro focused warlock decks. Those are like the top 2 sort of decks that we're seeing in the ladder. And so this is to try to help curb that back a little bit. That's the only change to warlock cards though. Also a couple changes here to neutral cards, or yeah, there's 2 of them. So over here in the neutral cards, we saw a change to, first and foremost, the Shattered Sun Cleric. Let's go ahead and I can just do this, I suppose. Shattered Sun Cleric, where are you? I know you're somewhere. I should have just typed you in, huh? There it is, Shattered Sun Cleric, Battlecry, giving a minion +1/+1. That hasn't changed, but the health has now changed to 2. This is a similar change to what was done to Argent Commander as well. Argent Commander costs 6, thank you very much. So Argent Commander also now has a health of 2. So in the neutral cards, they changed both the health of Argent Commander and Shattered Sun Cleric to 2. Their base effects are still the same. Why is this a big deal? Well, those cards in and of themselves, super strong. You saw Argent Commander in almost every deck, and then there was a vast majority of decks that were focused around cards like Shattered Sun Cleric. Now with a health of 2, that makes it so that Holy Nova, Consecrate, Blizzard, Pumped Up Fan of Knives, a Pumped Up Arcane Explosion, all of those things will now kill these 2 creatures, and that's pretty big. Now, Argent Commander is still super value, and lots of times you're most likely going to be getting that 2-for-1 deal. If you kill a creature right away, and then they have to blow a second card to kill this, it becomes valuable, it becomes worth it. But this makes these cards a little bit easier to kill, a little bit easier to deal with, because even though it's just 1 difference, dealing 2 damage is much easier in this game for a lot more classes than dealing 3 damage is. And so again, it makes these things much easier to deal with. And then lastly, we got the addition of the Elite Tauren Chieftain. I really want to exit off of this. Let me type Elite. There he is, Elite Tauren Chieftain now. It's a BlizzCon reward thing, I believe. I purchased the virtual ticket, so that's why I got it. You get some rock powers. I don't even know what they are. I think they're kind of stupid. All these specialty golden cards are really gimmicky and typically not that valuable, so I wouldn't worry if you didn't go to BlizzCon or purchase a virtual ticket that you don't have this, because I don't expect this to be showing up in many decks, except for ones that are just kind of like herb-a-derb-a-derb, goofing around. There's also a couple UI and bug fixes, but nothing that I feel is worth mentioning here. So there you go, guys. Just a quick overview of the recent Hearthstone beta patch. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If any big future patches come through, I'll probably do something similar to this, because I'm continuing to play this game quite a bit, and I am really enjoying it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the content, please subscribe, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.